Hello and welcome to the next chapter in Out in America series on West Texas. So this is the map that I've gone for, West Texas. We did start off on Medicine Creek, if you have seen that or not. So all the money that I earned in Medicine Creek, which wasn't that much, I'll be honest, because the prices on that map were extremely difficult. But anyway. But I did take all the money over from that map, so on that playthrough over here, which left me with about I think it was like 2.6 million or 2.4, something like that. I've completely forgotten. I did write it down. And then I've bought this piece of land, some equipment, and I have to say, the land on West Texas is extremely expensive. However, the prices are better, so we should be able to make a bit of money. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly walk around, show you what we own, what we started with, and then, yeah, the way we're going to go forward. So this is the farm that I've got. It's quite a nice little farm. It really is set in such a beautiful area on the map. The state park's just over that direction, which is technically like north of where we are. And we have got a few pens for animals, which is pretty cool. So going forward we can do a bit of well, we can have horses, we can have sheep, and we've got the cows, and that's pretty much what's set up on here. So I am going to try and do as much of that as possible, because it does state in the description of this this map that if you're just going to go arable, you're not going to make much money. You do need to make it in combination with the animals, so we are definitely going to be doing that. So I just want to quickly also point out that I am using a shader. If you did watch my episode onto the survival series, I think it was episode 21, I did start showing this off, but this is a new shader that I'm trying out, and I have to say, it's not impacting the performance at all. Maybe a little bit, but not much to notice in game. And I just think it makes the game look so much better, especially on a map like this. So let me just quickly show you the map. With the shader as well, you will see a bit of the background, but I have got used to it, so hopefully it won't impact the video too much. So what I own is this little section here. We've got a big cow pasture over here, which I've got 10 Holstein in. I've got no sheep, and what we're going to be doing as well with this grassland here, we're going to actually mow it down, make a bit of cash earlier on while we haven't got the sheep. Got a horse paddock, but we're not going to be doing much with that just yet. We might move over to that, but right now focus is cows and a bit of money from arable. So with the price of the land being so much and me needing equipment, I've probably not got anywhere near the equipment I had before. I have got the essentials, but nowhere near what I had before. But I think what I have got now is going to be much better to use. It's going to help us out. But I did end up getting this field here, field 3. It's right by the big cow farm. This is insane, this farm here. It holds so many pastures, and I'm guessing it's for rearing beef cattle. So we can have a look at that at some point, but I think even if I try to purchase this, I'm going to need 5.2 million. So it's very unlikely that I'm going to purchase this, because I do want to keep hopping over on this series to different maps. And it was so difficult to find a map this time around. I had so many choices. I was stuck between this West Texas and Autumn Oaks. And the only thing that made me go with this instead of Autumn Oaks is it's a bit more on the arable side and mixture with animals. And then I think maybe next time we could go to Autumn Oaks and do a big cattle farm, big dairy farm, something like that. But I did want to still try and focus a bit on the arable side, but also a little bit more on the animals. So this is giving me the option to do that with having the extra animal, obviously pens and stables and all that kind of stuff. So in the last chapter, chapter 1, that's what I'm calling them, chapter 1, this is going to be chapter 2. I did have this John Deere swather or windrower, whatever you want to call it, from wherever you're from. And I did say I was going to keep one piece of equipment and bring it over to the map, which is this bad boy. And we've also kept the same hours on it. So everything's pretty much the same. I am going to be using the community extension, so I'm all in bushels and US tons and pounds and stuff like that. So this series is going to follow suit just like that. So I've gone with this massive 9630 John Deere, and it's about time I get something with a bit of power, and luckily this has definitely got power. So if we actually have a look, you can see that this has got 530 brake horsepower, which is insane. It really is insane. And I was quite lucky because I am using the Classifieds mod Modify has done, which is a brilliant mod. So it's made it a little bit more difficult with the fact that I can't buy too much equipment second-hand. But on my first day on the map, when I was setting things up, I did get the option to buy 2 John Deere tractors that I've got. There's actually quite a few more, and also the harvester was in here, so I was really lucky. So this is why I've gone with these two. So I've gone with the 6220 small John Deere tractor, really good for the animal side of things, and maybe doing a bit of spreading as well, so a bit of spraying, anything like that. It's got a front loader attachment that I have left somewhere. It's there you go. So that's going to be pretty useful, and then this massive beast is going to be what we do on the arable side. I also put a few things into the map, so I've put a workshop in here. I've got a few bales out in the field in the pasture where you can see where the cows are. This is a massive pasture, really is quite big, and I do like how it's set, and especially looking over to down there at the state park that it's called, or I call them in the UK national parks, but state parks over here. So this time around we're going through a different type of Ford F-150. Pretty good, does the job. Straightforward truck, gives us the option to obviously tow around as well, so that's pretty good. Got a massive harvester that we'll show off in a minute, but I have gone with a bigger header thinking that it'll help me out. So this cost me a lot of money. This was like 80-odd thousand. It really did take a chunk of my income. And then I got the same planter that I started using right at the tail end of Medicine Creek. So this again is going to help me out, especially when we start expanding field types, which is what I want to do pretty early on. So let's talk harvesters. So I've gone with a bit of an upgrade. This is the S680 John Deere. Got a bigger capacity for the actual grain inside, and as you can see, really nice. It's second hand, like I said, because I did get it through the Modify, but I give it a clean. And actually, it's not too bad, really. It might need a repair. Can't remember now where I'm at. Yes, it does need a tiny bit of a repair, and it's got 22.5 hours on the clock, and it also needs fuel and AdBlue. So we might need to put some of that in straight away. That's another thing actually that's reminding me. I did put on my own little fuel point because there wasn't one on the map, so we've put this in here. I don't know if actually this would be outside in the heat in Texas. I really don't know. I'm hoping with it being diesel that it might not be, obviously, as flammable. So maybe it does. So I've gone with the same truck as I did before because it was really cheap. They only like $25,000 for this truck. Don't know why the mod's set up like that. Maybe it is in real life. With me not having that kind of background in the States, probably you guys can let me know a little bit more on that. But I have gone with this, just a different colour. So the same truck, so still got a bit of a loud noise to it, but I do like it, I have to say. The only difference I've gone with is the trailer. So I've gone with this BSM trailer. It holds a little bit more in bushels. I think it's 1,900 bushels just alone in this trailer. But the only thing we need to keep an eye on is it tips by tipping the actual trailer up, so it's going to go tall. It really is. So we need to keep an eye on that with the sell points. The reason I went for this one instead is not only because it holds more, because the other one I was having just issues. The fact that you have to switch over, it's got like 2 kind of hoppers underneath it, the old one that I had, and I prefer the kind of just having the one. It just makes things easier. Silo was already placed in on the map. It is a shame. I might actually remove this silo at some point and buy myself a proper auger bin, and we can stick it in there. I do like that feature on the US maps where you can have one grain type at one point, and there is some good auger bins out there. So we'll look at that in the future. So I've gone with this disc row. So I'm actually using a disc arrow at the moment instead of a cultivator. It's got a nice span to it. Let me just actually look at the information on this because it's the first time I've ever used it. So it's a Lizard Storm Euro 40. 400 brake horsepower, which we can now pull. 12.2 meters. Pretty good going. Definitely going to come in handy. Gone with the same Navigator 6000 that I had before, the Hardy. So that's going to be good. Spraying. And I've gone with a different auger. This time I've gone with the Storm. I think it holds a little bit less, but yeah, it'll be fine for what we do. I was struggling to pull the auger previously with anything else but my most powerful contractor, and even that was jackknifing at times. So luckily with the beast that I've got now, which is what I'm going to start calling it, the beast, this should be easy. Now what I have got here, which is something I can't wait to start using, is the combination of a Massey Ferguson baler. So we're going to call it a Heston. It's not a Heston baler, but technically it's the closest thing to that had a hitch on. So what we can do is we've got this Quadro Pro baler, and what it does is it picks up the straw bales or hay bales or whatever it is you're doing square wise, and it stacks them up in fours and drops them out, which is going to be brilliant for me because I like to manually stack my bales, and I usually try and pick them up in fours using the you can get the front loader attachment that you can pick up 4 at a time. So I think that's going to definitely come in handy, and that's pretty much all the equipment I've gone for. So there isn't too much going on. I think I did have quite a bit more, but we have got the essentials. We can start doing the arable side of things, and we can also do a bit of baling as well. So the only thing I haven't got is a wrapper, which is something I might have to do. I would like myself a round baler, and as you can see, I'm sitting at $83,000, or just under $83,000. Now, the reason I've got $83,000 and been able to buy this farm and this equipment and the land just over here, because this land is so expensive, and I only came into the map with just over 2 million, 2 point something. I have got my notebook somewhere, and I should probably look at this. So let me just check this out, because I can tell you exactly what I started with. So I started with 2.1 million, basically $2,134,000. I had to pay off my loan $150,000, which is from the last map. So I did that. But then obviously with the price of everything being so expensive, buying this field, which is one of the smallest, but I didn't want to get the smallest, like down here at 23 or 24. I went with 3. It was still $573,000. And with the farm and the equipment, so I did need to get a loan. So because of that, I'm sitting at $550,000 in a loan that we really need to start paying off. And that's why I've kind of got a safety net of $83,000 to take the burden of the interest rates. Now, I did need to do this because coming onto West Texas, which is what my priority was, as soon as I made my decision, I knew I wanted this farm because I just loved the layout, and I just like I like how it's remote. I think that's the bit that stands out for me, especially over there. The scenery is brilliant. But yeah, to get going, I needed to take a loan out. So it's probably going to hit me hard for the first year, but I'm hoping to take a good chunk away from that. I think we won't need many bales for the cows. We can keep them on a strict ration diet, let's say, because they're not going to be doing any milk. And at the end of the day, if they're not doing milk, we don't need to give them TMR. So we could just give them, some basic hay and tick them over until next year, when we can actually start giving them a bit of TMR. So what my priority is to get this field over here, which I don't know where the entrance is for, but this is where the sheep are, and it is a big grass field, as you can see. We're going to mow this all down, and we're going to try and do some silage and sell that. Now, the prices, like I said, are better on this map, which is going to help us a lot. We may as well open the gate now I've found it, because nothing's going to be coming in here and coming out of it. Now, there's also another pasture over here that I could buy, but I just haven't got enough money for yet. And if we just have a quick look at the map, it's 667,000. It's quite a lot of land. It comes with a few barns over there, so it is something we could always expand out to and get even more cows. So it is an option. But I think we're all right. We're set to go, I think. We've got the arable side. We've got a field to crack on with. And we've also got the grass over here to start mowing and doing some silage. So let's quickly have a look at the actual prices. So you can see that the prices are better per bushel than what they were. It looks like soybeans is a really good price. I'm not going to be doing canola, oats, sunflowers, because at the end of the day, don't really think you'd see that in Texas. So maybe a bit of wheat. We can do soybeans, corn, and the sorghum, which I'm really looking forward to. So we're going to ignore barley, oat, canola, sunflowers, potatoes. We could try to do some sugar beets. You'd probably see a bit of potatoes and sugar beets out here. Cotton is something that I'd really love to do. I really would love to do. I mean, it's $8,000 a ton. So we could eventually get to this. It depends if we get enough money, but I would like to do that. That would be ace. Milk, again, not a bad price. Definitely better than the last map. And silage is pretty good as well. So we can sell silage at the Dairy Farmers of America. Now, I don't know if that's a bale. I don't know if I can sell it in bale format, so we'd have to test that out, because in the last map we couldn't sell anything in bale format. No, sorry, we couldn't sell anything in a loose format. We could only sell it in bale. So if we do need to do some wrap bales, we're going to have to maybe try and get a bit of that. Now, the good thing about this map, which I've noticed as well, is it has meat production. So one piece of meat, I'm guessing these are in boxes. I have looked at the actual area for meat, and it's pretty much a carbon copy of what's in Hofburgman. So I'm quite familiar and quite accustomed to that. So that shouldn't be an issue at all. So we might go down this path, but right now we're doing dairy, so we don't need to concentrate too much on that. But as you can tell, there's nowhere to sell slurry and manure again. There is a BGA, but I think I need to own it. There is definitely a BGA here. Let me just check if I need to own that. I think I might do. Yes, I do. And it's 1.3 million, so we're definitely not going to be doing that anytime soon unless we hit the lottery, which obviously we can't do. So let's have a look back at the prices. So hay, straw, I'm imagining we can sell that the same place for the bales. We can do bales if that's what's going to make us the money. We're going to have to do something. But I think because of the price of sorghum, I do like this. This is $20 a bushel. So I've never done it before. I know it's coming to FS22, so it's going to be my focus. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this in the ground. So we need to probably drive down to field 3 and have a quick look at the actual state of the field. So let's just jump into the truck and we'll have a quick drive down and I'll show you along the way some of the sites. And so, as I was saying, this map is definitely pretty impressive. I love the round fields as well. They got sprayers in the fields, dead unique, and they actually work and running. You can fill them up with liquid fertilizer, saves so much hassle because you can just obviously go ahead and start spraying without actually needing a sprayer. And the fields are huge as well on this map. They really are. So let's jump out of cab view so we can actually have a quick look at what's going on around. And I'll try and not drive too crazy so we fly about. I think this truck goes up to 93 miles an hour. So on the right now is the field that I do want. This is going to be the aim to get. Field number 1. And it is, as you can see, a nice size field. And it doesn't look that big on the map. With this map being a ×4, just quickly pull over. Can't do the multitasking. Really can't. Yeah, so if we have a look at this, you can see that on the map it doesn't look that big, and it says it's 76 acres. Now, in comparison to the other fields, it is a big field. Field 45 is around the same. This one's 100, and then you're talking like field 6 looks massive. But yeah, there's some good sized fields, but I think field 1 is going to be something to get. But it's 1.8 million. Now, if we sell field 3, we've already got pretty much 600,000 there. So we need to start making some serious cash. Now, I'm just hoping that this map will allow me to do that. I really do. So just on the right now, which you can see is the actual massive, and I mean massive, cattle area for beef. I'm guessing it's beef. It's got to be. There's just so much going on. All these pastures, you can see these open pastures in the middle. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start with this. I think this is a job for multiplayer with this one. Because look at all these calf pens. It's insane. It's like an army of calves. Plenty of tyres, because you know, you need a tyre or two. So maybe they're bunkers. Maybe that's silage. You can probably put some silage. I don't know. I'd have to check it. I am also imagining that you'd need to probably own it. Try not to drive into the calf pen. And we don't even own them. So this is all actually really interesting stuff. Great to try out, but I am playing this series slightly realistic. I'm trying to be. It's a semi-realistic series, so I do want to be obviously not cheating, putting money in or anything like that. Taking over the money we got and building up each time. That's the aim. Oh, bit of drift going on. This truck does like to wheel spin on the back end. But yeah, you can see that this is some serious agricultural setup there. So on the left right now, we're coming up to a round field, and as you can see, these are the sprayers. So this is like a semi-circle field, you can see. But that sprayer will go all the way around. You can fill it up with liquid fertilizer, and you can manually use that yourself. How cool is that? Right, so this is the field. This is field 3. This is our field. It's not massive, but it's also not tiny. I think it's a good field to start off on. And if we get the sorghum in the ground, I think it'll do a good job. So drive all the way down it so you can see the length and get an idea of it. Now I am going 60 odd miles an hour, so it will take a lot longer in the tractor. Even, you never know, you could re-plough that bit there if you wanted to and make it a full size field with the one to the left of it. So you never know, we could even think about doing that. I mean, that's a smaller size field. My only issue is if we did that, we'd have to take this out of the field. Now I haven't got a clue what that is. I really haven't. Now, I don't know if that's got something to do with maybe the fact that out in Texas it might be quite dry, so it's storing a bit of water. Who knows? What is going on down here? So we're back into the cattle farm. It's got their own lagoon. See, that's where they're keeping the water. I'm guessing that's what's pumping in. Now, these are all slurry points. Look, there's 12 slurry points. This is where the slurry's going to go. This is really insane. It really is. Pretty cool, though. So let's head back and let's get hooked up. Usually I don't try and do much farming in the first episode. I think I am probably around 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes in to the video. Probably I'll trim that down a little bit. Normally I do. But I think I might have time to start doing some cultivating with the disc harrow. So let's get back. I'll do a bit of a montage, disc harrow, and I think that'll be good for the first episode on West Texas. This is actually pretty fast for what it is. It's 24 miles an hour. That's not bad. Now, I haven't got beacons on it, but I feel like I should have beacons on it, because if we meet any traffic, and in fact I think I might have turned the traffic off, which is something I need to turn back on. So let's just quickly do that before I forget, and if I do meet traffic I'm going to regret doing it, but you know, there we go. So I have put traffic back on now. As you can see, there's some traffic down there. I just hope we don't meet anything, even though the roads are wide enough, but we might have to go onto the actual grass side of it, the verges. Now luckily there's not so much of a verge like there is in Medicine Creek. Medicine Creek really did have a drop off at the side of the roads and a lot of piping, so you would feel it if you were driving on this side like we are now. Pretty nice in cab as well. I did set it up with the rear mirrors, which are pretty useful as well. Looks like we're being chased by someone. Well, not so much chased, but caught up. Right, so here we are. We're going to start off on this side of the field because I think it will be the most difficult. I'm hoping that I might be able to use GPS on this one. And we can do a bit of a montage. Now, I am going to actually reverse back because I've got a feeling I haven't left enough room there. Maybe I have. No, it is weird to use a tractor like this with the turning axle at the back. The fact that it's completely different. It's not like this. The wheels are actually turning. It's like, I don't even know what to call it. Really wouldn't. There we go. That was weird. It didn't want to move down until it didn't want to drop down until I moved forward. But there we go. So we're now cultivating away on our first field. And we're actually getting something done. So because I don't want the video to go too long on the first episode, I am just going to get straight into it. Start myself a little bit of a montage so we can get this all done. Right, so there we go. Just need to clean off the tractor. And probably the cultivator as well. But there's one thing that I haven't got, is a jet wash. Completely overlooked it, so might have to get something at some point just so we can clean it off, because we can't be having dirty tractors. That really is not very good. This part here would be really useful, putting in some kind of placeable, maybe an extra shed, because we haven't really got that many sheds. And I don't think any of the sheds can hold pretty much this tractor, and also the cultivator as well. But I think for a first episode, it's been pretty productive. We got the field ready to start planting in the sorghum, and I think as well the temperature's already ready for it. It's a pretty reliable and versatile crop, it seems. Right, so let's just park that up there. Yeah, so as you can tell, it definitely needs a bit of a clean. But I think before I end the video, I just want to show you this kind of view. The state park just at the rear of the farm is absolutely stunning. So I think on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.